Oh my goodness, I just turned 55. Should I retire? I mean, should I? Okay, really? I didn't turn 55. I'm 50. And maybe you did just turn 55 and you're considering retiring, right? Why should you retire at 55, 65, 62, 67, 69, 80, 79? I don't know. What should I do? When should I do it? The other question in that is, should I sell my home when I retire? That's the other big question. And that really comes down to your personal financial situation, right? So here are 5 key points to consider when thinking about selling your home after you retire. Big question first is, should and when do I retire? Well, talk to your tax advisor, your wealth advisor, have that conversation. And I encourage you to start that conversation when you're 18, 20, 25, 24, 23. Like, roll that number back, guys. Roll that lifestyle back and say, like, okay, where do I want to be when I'm 89, when I'm 69, when I'm 65? Where do I want to retire? I already know what I want to do. I want to be on the beach, kicking it in a rocker, watching all my great grandchildren and my grandchildren run around while my real estate businesses and my real estate portfolio is still paying me in my retirement. That's my big dream. What's yours? What makes sense for you? Right? Where are you going in retirement? So let's start with this first. The big question is, you're probably already in retirement and you're wondering, should I sell my house now? When's the best time to do it? Okay. How much is your home worth? Super important. Figure out your current financial net worth. That might be the first question you need answered. What am I worth? How much do I have? And it isn't your personal worth. Let's substitute those, move those apart. It's your financial value that's important. How much are my properties worth? If I sell them today, does it make sense? What should I do? And then figure out what your remaining mortgage balance is. Do you still owe on your property? When do you want them sold by, paid off by? What does that look like, right? And then how is the real estate market performing? How's it doing in your area? Is it a great time to sell? Is it a not so great time to sell? I mean, just recently, I've talked about it on other podcast episodes, right? Palm Springs market is 6 months worth of inventory. When it hits 6 months worth of inventory, now that means we've moved to and on our way to a buyer's market, not a seller's market. Why would that be important to you as a seller? Well, as I mentioned, a buyer's market means the buyer has the negotiating power, not the seller, right? So let's look at condition of your home as well. Condition. What do you need to do to sell your house for the most amount of money? What does that look like? And then the timeline for selling your house. What does that look like? How long is it taking to sell a property? There's so many things to consider when selling your home, right? Look, some things to also consider. You're going to eliminate your mortgage. You're going to say, goodbye, mortgage. I just sold my house. I get to be free of debt. And that means a lot of money's coming into you. A lot of money is coming into you. Talk to your CPA or your tax advisor and your wealth manager to see, what is the best way to receive that money as to avoid the potential tax consequences that could be related to it. That's just the reality of it. You could receive some tax breaks, right? You also eliminate a lot of maintenance costs and a lot of hard work of taking care of the property. You also potentially, depending, I think property taxes is a whole nother boatload, right? Property taxes are impacted by when you purchased your property. If you bought your property 30 years ago, your property taxes are probably pretty low. Say you just bought your property a couple of years ago, your property taxes may be really high because they're based on your purchase price. And so, guess what? You may get rid of all those property taxes and you may not. Another thing to take into consideration is you may need to downsize. Eliminate your overhead costs, right? The larger your house is, the more it costs to maintain that property. So, downsizing may make a great idea. If you're living in a 2-story and managing stairs is a lot of work, if you're living with a pool in the backyard and you're like, oh, I can't do that anymore, or tons of land, like I just can't do it anymore, it's all too much. You need to look at all of those things and go, here we go. This is why I'm going to sell my property, right? And then there's lots of reasons why you might keep your home in retirement. If it's paid for, like, and you bought it years ago, as I mentioned earlier, your property taxes are probably low. And so the cost to keep that home and live in it may be more cost effective than actually moving out of it into another smaller space. So you really want to evaluate all your circumstances, all of them, weigh all the pros and cons, right? You may want to do that. There's also the option to do a reverse mortgage. So many people ask me about reverse mortgages. Should I do them? Are they bad? Are they this or are they that? Hey, a reverse mortgage works for the circumstance that's personally related to your situation. I'll have a great lender on here down the road that'll talk about all the pros and cons of a reverse mortgage. And I don't want to get into the ethics of it. I'm saying focus on what makes sense to you, right? Your house may be in great shape and not a lot of work and easy to live in. So you may want to just keep it. It just may make great sense to do that, right? There's just so many reasons why it makes sense to keep your home rather than sell it during retirement or sell it during retirement, right? I just really, really want you to sit down with the professional of your choice and go, hey, this is my situation. Should I do it or not? And who are those professionals you should be talking to? Tax advisor, CPA, your wealth advisor, right? Any of those people, your kids, your family. Yes, have a conversation with them too. Just have the conversations of all the people you value that it makes the difference for. Just going to remind you again, I'm going to jump right back into this. There are financial implications to selling your home, no matter whether you're retiring or you're young or you've only been lived in it for a couple of years or less than a couple of years. There is financial implications. So be sure you talk to a professional before you just go, I'm going to sell it. Just going to make great sense. Always remember financial implications. Also, get back into those housing market conditions. What's going on with the housing market? Does it make sense? A couple episodes again, I just talked about what LA County is doing and what that looks like, right? go back into your lifestyle and your health considerations, the tax consequences, and then of course your emotional well-being. I'm going to encourage you, if you decided that selling your home is the right thing to do, go listen to episode 67. We talk about how you should sell your house.